Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. My name is Ron Tyler. Welcome to our program this evening. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to our program tonight. We had a few audio difficulties here early on, and we apologize for that. Folks, a lot of stuff is happening. I'm going to talk about earthquakes, yes. I'm going to talk about the volcanoes over in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm going to talk about magma on the move. I would ask you all to stand by for whatever you want to see. Please don't leave just because you don't see what you want to know. I will cover it all. I promise you, I will cover it all. Okay? I am going to do my best to put out any information that you need. And also, please know this, that we're going to help you. We're definitely going to help you. Now, what does that mean? I want to basically give you the information that you want to know. I'm going to do that. But I also need you to stick around and watch our program. Okay? Please don't leave just right up and leave. Please stick around for the entire program. If you don't see what you need to see and you leave, you're not going to get what you need. Okay? We want you to stick around for the entire program. That's what I'm saying. YouTube looks at it a little bit differently. YouTube counts the amount of time you're watching this program as time against us. The more time you spend watching this program, the more time YouTube will allocate to other people on YouTube to hear and watch our program. Okay, it's part of the analytic factor. Also, if you enjoy what we're saying here tonight, please give us a thumbs up before you leave. Please do that. We also ask you to please thumbs up our program. Okay? Please thumbs up our program. Also share it with everybody you know. Share it far and wide. We want everybody to see our program. Share it far and wide. Share it to your friends, your neighbors, your family, your extended family, the social media contacts you have, and also to the people you work with. This is essential that everybody will see our program. Okay? That's very important to us. We put out emergency information all the time, every day. Why do we do that? Because we want you to have that information you're going to need to be able to organize your families in the event of an emergency. And yes, there are many emergencies going on around us every day, all the time. That's why we have Emergency Management Associates. That's what we do here. We talk about emergencies, we talk about disasters, we talk about just about everything that you want to know. Okay? We talk about everything you want to know because I believe it's important. Okay? Now, I want to do this as well. Please, folks, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to set a goal right now. I'm going to set a goal right now. If we have 10 super chats amounting to $5 and greater, I'm going to host a members only meeting. I'm going to host a members only meeting for all of you that are members on this program. I will talk about anything you want me to talk about during that members only meeting. But please, folks, those people that join this program tonight, and also those people that contribute at least $5 or more during the next, say, 30 minutes. I'm going to lengthen that out for the next 45 minutes. Anybody that's giving us a super chat of at least $5 or greater during the next 45 minutes will be part of that members only meeting. And I will give you almost any information that you're going to want to have. I'll host a members only meeting. Okay? I promise you that. I will make sure that you are part of it. I'll make sure you all are part of that. And if you give me a title, you can also send that information over to our email, rltnspdema@gmail.com. Send your information over to us, things you want to talk about during the members only meeting tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow morning. And I'll host this super chat for you tomorrow morning. We need at least 10 super chats of $5 or more. That's the goal. Okay? Thank you for that. Thank you for that very much. Now, folks, there's a lot of things we want to talk about tonight. Okay? A lot. Now, are you prepared? Do you have the things that you're going to need to have in case an emergency? You need to put your family's future on solid ground. Strengthen your house against earthquake or any other kind of emergency that's going to happen. We saw emergencies the last 2 weeks over in Los Angeles. They spread around the country. They spread to Texas. They spread to New York. They spread to Illinois. They spread to Wyoming. They spread to Montana. They spread to Salt Lake City and to San Francisco. This can happen at any time. We want to make sure you have that information. You need to get prepared. Now, if you need preparedness information, you can scroll through all of our database, all of our Emergency Management Associates programs here on YouTube. If you see a program that's marked specifically Emergency Preparedness or Emergency Preparedness Kit or tornado or hurricane or anything like that, scroll through to those programs where it says Emergency Preparedness and you'll have that information that you need. We have emergency preparedness kit information. We have how to write an emergency preparedness plan as well. Okay, we give that information out on Fridays usually, where we have Friday preparedness talks here on this channel. But again, I'm asking all of you to get ready. Okay, the United States and the entire world is under attack. The entire world is under attack, and we're going to talk about that tonight. But I want to make sure you're prepared for whatever's going to happen. Okay? That's essential. That is very much essential. Now, President Trump issued a travel ban a couple weeks ago. Now he's issued a travel ban to 36 countries. A travel ban is now issued to 36 countries, not just on this map here. I will put that information out tomorrow. I'll show you the countries he is issued a travel ban to. Why? Because of what Iran and Russia have done. That's because of what Iran and Russia have done. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about heavily. Now, I told you last night that the United States Air Force and the United States Navy on Sunday and Monday deployed an extensive amount of planes and ships over to the Middle East. Okay? Planes, C-5A cargo military transport planes. They put up KC-135 strato tankers, refueling tankers over the Middle East. They put up E-5 command and control aircraft. They put up fighter jets over to the Middle East. They also put up other aircraft such as F-15s and F-18s and B-52 bombers and B-2 bombers. We've also been told that the USS Nimitz is on its way over to CENTCOM, the Middle East. It was over near Singapore. Now it's been transported over to the Middle East as well. We already have the USS Eisenhower, and I believe one other carrier group over there in the Middle East. The entire carrier group. Okay? What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to tell you what's going on tonight. I'm going to tell you what's going on tonight. Before I do that, I want to tell you about something else that's going on that you need to know about. There is a fire emergency that's been declared in New Mexico. In New Mexico, it's called the Buck Fire, southwest of Highway 60 near Aragon-Catron County, New Mexico. It's already burned 57,000 acres. 57,000 acres burned in over 2 days. In over just 2 days. When it first started, it was no more than 500 acres, and it's quickly spread. If you were there, you were under a level 3 evacuation order, meaning an emergency get out, order. If you're there in New Mexico, you need to know that you need to get out and get out right now. Don't wait. Pack your bags and get out. Why am I saying that? Why do you think I'm saying that? Folks, this is an emergency there. There's fire coming to your doorstep. There's literally fire coming to your doorstep. I've told everybody in the past about having an emergency preparedness kit packed and putting it in the closet near your doorway. Why? Because then when an emergency happens, you can grab your go bag, grab your 72-hour kit, grab your emergency preparedness kits and get out. That's why it's important. That's why we talk about emergency preparedness kits on this program. We talk about having a written emergency preparedness plan. That's why we do it. And now there's another fire in New Mexico. We're going to have more fires in California. We're going to have more fires in Oregon. We're going to have more fires in Utah, more fires in Washington State as well, in Texas and Oklahoma and New Mexico, and over into Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, possibly even up into Minnesota. Fires happen this time of year. They become out of control very quickly. And fire right now is very bad. The fire level is very bad. There's dry brush all over the place. And with summer coming and high heat, which is coming, it's already here. When that happens, you're not going to have much time to pack. The fire is going to engulf your home and engulf the areas that's in. You need to be able to get out quickly. That's why we talk vigorously about an emergency preparedness kit packed. That's why we talk about evacuation procedures. Make sure you're ready to go. That's why we talk about having an emergency preparedness plan. Without a preparedness plan, you're not going to have any information to go on. And when you run out the door, you're going to be forgetting your own shirt on your back. That's why it's important. Write an emergency preparedness plan now. Make sure you have your emergency preparedness kit packed and ready to walk out the door. This is just one more warning that we are giving you. Now, I don't give this warning to worry you. That's not what I do. I don't want you to fret, but I want you to be prepared. That is the whole purpose with this program, is being prepared. I want to make that clear. We don't want people to worry. We don't want people to fret. We don't want people to be afraid. Be prepared, not scared. Be prepared, not scared. But this fire in New Mexico means business. Almost 58,000 acres, probably by 58,000 acres by tomorrow. Get ready. Get ready, guys. These fires mean business. I'm not going to paint any rosy picture. I don't wear rose-colored glasses here. When I say something is going to happen, it usually does. I just want to give you the information you need to know. Now, Renee Steffi's been talking most of the afternoon about a tornado warning in Wyoming. Okay? The National Weather Service out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, has issued a tornado warning, this time for Niobrara, Niobrara, Wyoming. Okay? Laramie, Wyoming area as well. If you are in those areas, either in Wyoming or elsewhere, when you have a tornado warning, you need to get away from your the outer walls of your home. Get away from the outer walls of your home and stay away from glass windows on the outside of your home. Completely away. Go to the innermost part of your home. Please go to the innermost part of your home. Why? Because there is probably the safest place when a tornado hits. Because when the tornado hits, guys, we're going to see 2x4s that were wind driven going through the walls of your home or through the walls of your garage. If you are in the middle of your home, you will probably be more protected than anywhere else. I say most of the time to be on an inner hallway. Be on an inner hallway, away from glass windows or anything else. And if you have time, take your kids, take your pets with you. Go over to your bed and pull a mattress over your heads and stay there till the all clear is given. Okay? We don't usually get tornadoes in Wyoming. Rarely does it ever happen. We have tornado warning there. We also had an earlier tornado warning in southern Colorado around Pueblo, Colorado. That happens in Colorado, but not in Wyoming. Now, guys, you need to be aware of this. These things are abnormal, and they can happen anywhere. They can happen anywhere. Hacksaw, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you here. Now, I have a lot of other information I want to give you. One of the other information centers is the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service and the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration has issued a tropical storm warning. A tropical storm warning. This is off the southern coast of Mexico right now. This is off the southern coast of Mexico right now. However, look where it's headed. Look where it's headed. It's headed directly up into central Mexico. And from there, it may go into the Gulf of California. It may go right up through the Gulf of California. And if it does, it's going into northern Mexico and possibly into the Imperial Valley of California, southern California, and possibly even Arizona. Right now, this is a tropical storm warning, a tropical storm advisory, if you will. You need to be aware of this. Right now, it's off in the ocean, but look where it's headed. Look where it's headed. By Wednesday, it will still be out in the Pacific Ocean. 6 p.m. Wednesday, it will be just south of Cancun, Mexico. Then after that, 4 a.m. Thursday, this tropical storm will be moving up into the Gulf of California. By Thursday evening, it will be in the central Gulf of California. By Friday morning, this will be in northern Mexico. And from there, guys, you need to be prepared because Southern California, San Diego, the Imperial Valley, and also Arizona are going to be in its crosshairs. San Diego County, southern San Diego County, possibly the entire county, all of Imperial County in Southern California, and over into Arizona is going to be wary for this storm. It's going to be in the crosshairs of the storm by Friday morning. We are going to keep an eye on this storm, and we will give you the latest updates as they become available. Do we have any questions about this whatsoever? I want to make sure you have this information in front of you. Ernie Martinez is saying, thank you for the great advice. I give this because I care about all of you. You guys are my family, my extended family as well. We care about you. We care about you. Any questions? Debbie JH is here saying hello. Guys, if you are here for your first time, 1, please give us a thumbs up. 2, please subscribe to this channel. Those of you that are already subscribed, please know that YouTube may have unsubscribed you. That's what YouTube does. YouTube does not like this channel because we tell the truth. We give people the information that they need. So if you've been unsubscribed, please resubscribe. And when you subscribe to our channel, whether you think you're a member or a subscriber right now, resubscribe. When you do that, right next to this subscription button, there is another button we need you to click on. Click on that little bell icon. When you click on that little bell icon there, you'll come up with a drop-down menu of 3 items. Click on the word ALL, all. That should get you notified when we come on the air. But be advised, YouTube does not always notify anybody when we come on the air. I have even been unsubscribed from my own channel. I also don't get notifications. Our own moderators usually don't get notifications. They know when we come on the air. We're here for you. We're here for all of you. So please, guys, please subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell. Already since yesterday, YouTube has unsubscribed 12 people. YouTube has unsubscribed 12 people. They deny it, but they have. I checked the numbers. So please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you're still subscribed by the end of this program. Please do that. Sleeping Volcano says she's still getting notifications. That's great. That's great. Also, Demon Catman sent me a message the other day and sent it to me last night that our membership link down in the top of our program description right below this video today, the top of our program description, we have a membership link. Now, I have tried to get that membership link to work. It doesn't work. I've been through previous programs as well, copying the membership link, and it doesn't work in any of the previous programs. I'm going to call YouTube tomorrow and find out what happened with the membership links to our program. I urge everybody, if you can, to be a member of our program. Become a member of our program. That way, when we have members-only meetings, you're part of that program. We'd appreciate that. We'd really appreciate that. Now, Hacksaw is talking about a coronal hole stream that's active sunspots from the sun. Those active sunspots, guys, I don't have the solar disk picture to show you. There are active sunspots on the sun that are facing Earth, and they're launching plasma radiation streams out into space directly at the Earth. When those plasma radiation streams are launched at the Earth, what happens? Let me show you. First off, let me take this advisory for the tropical storm down. When the radiation streams come from the sun, what happens? They come directly at the Earth and any other planets that are in its way. When the stream hits the Earth, it hits the Earth just like this. It literally engulfs the entire Earth like this. Plasma energy is radiation. Plasma radiation launching from the sun, from those sunspots, is plasma radiation. That plasma radiation goes through our Earth's magnetosphere. And right now, our Earth's magnetosphere is still weak from the previous solar minimum that we were in 2 years ago. As we continue through a solar maximum, which we've been in for 2 years now, as we continue through that solar maximum, hopefully our magnetosphere will get stronger. But the plasma radiation goes through the magnetosphere into our atmosphere. As it comes to the Earth, it penetrates the tectonic plates, penetrates the craton, penetrates the crust of the Earth that we walk on. It heats up the faults. It heats up the tectonic plates. All that gunk and grime, that holds the plates and the faults together is turned to a liquefied oil and greasy-like substance. All that dirt, all that sand, all that rock, all that biological material is turned into an oily, greasy-like substance, allowing those faults and or the plates to move more freely. That's when we get the earthquakes. That's when we get the earthquakes. During the past week, we've seen numerous sunspots launch these solar flares out into space. We've seen a M-class flare launched from the sun the other day. It hit the Earth Monday or Tuesday. It caused some communication blackouts with satellites. It caused radio communications blackouts with NASA and the space station, and Roscosmos and the space station. It caused NASA to lose communication with the satellites. Some satellites got knocked out of space. Yes, some satellites got knocked out of space, guys. That happened. And not just that. Planes sometimes had a hard time hearing or being able to communicate with the air traffic controllers. Yeah, incredible. Ham radio operators, CB radio operators could not talk and have their communications heard because of the sunspots. High frequency radio, ham radio operators, high frequency radio law enforcement could not adequately communicate. That's going to continue to happen with these sunspots. And guess what else the sunspots do? Because besides cause problems with the satellites and cause problems with earthquakes, those sunspots, that solar radiation penetrates any living thing, plants and also animals, any kind of animals. It affects our brains. It affects how our body works. We get more muscular pain and more headaches. Yes, guys. And anyone in planes that's higher than about 10,000 feet is exposed to more radiation than they should be. That happens because our planes are not shielded from the solar radiation, the plasma radiation. It happens. It happens. Trish Killian, my friend, is here. Trish and her husband have been friends of mine for a very long time. Thank you for being here, Trish. Tell Rich I said hi. Great friends, guys. Great friends. If you don't know her and Rich, get to know them. Great people. Every one of our people here on this chat are good people. Great people. Okay? Anyway, let's go on here. Do we have any questions about what the solar flares do? Because we have these solar flares hitting the earth all the time. I guarantee you, they hit the earth all the time. That's what's causing a lot of the earthquakes, especially when the earthquakes get above, say, 5.5 to 6.0. We've seen a lot of 5.5s. We've also seen a lot of 6.0 or large earthquakes. That's going to continue to happen. Now, Sleeping Volcano just reminded us she's going to have to go into surgery on Monday. So guys, starting maybe Saturday or Sunday, please pray for Sleeping Volcano. She and her husband are going to need your prayers. Pray that she and her surgeons will be prepared, and that her surgeons' hands are going to be guided to help her. Okay? Thanks for reminding us, Sleeping Volcano. You're a jewel. Sleeping Volcano and her husband are great friends of mine. Great, great friends of mine. I love them very much. Trish, I didn't know Rich had surgery. All went well. That's great. That's great. Give Rich a hug for me and tell him I'm thinking about him. Like I said, Rich is a good friend of mine. Trish is too. Thanks, Sleeping Volcano, for doing that. She hit perks and it hit membership. That's great. Yes, Sleeping Volcano has a mass that she needs to have worked on. Please keep her in her prayers. Okay, let's talk about some other things. I want to talk about what Israel has done to protect itself. During the past 3 days, the Houthis have tried to again attack Israel. Israel launched 9 planes, 9 F-15 planes with bunker busters. They were launched with external tanks as well. 1,000-pound bunker busters and external fuel tanks with JP-8 fuel. They also launched these great big huge KC-135 strato tankers carrying fuel to be able to refuel the planes so the F-15s from Israel could reach the Houthis in Yemen and return to Israel for breakfast. Israel dropped its plane load of bombs on the Houthis in Yemen and gave them a wake-up call. They destroyed the Houthis' air bases and great big huge explosions like you're seeing here. Huge explosions like you're seeing here. When Israel does something, it does it well. As I said, the F-15 planes were loaded down with 1,000-pound bunker busters so they could get down underneath the ground where Yemen had put these big, huge bombs that they intended for shipping lane ships and our U.S. military. Yes, our U.S. military and Israeli military as well. That's ended. They can't do it again. They won't be able to do it again. However, guess what? Israel has attacked Iran again. Israel has attacked Iran again and again and again. This is the fourth day of Israel's attack on Iran. And guess what? Iran has not prevailed at all. Not at all. And in fact, what is known is that Israel has complete control of Iranian skies. In the first battle over there in Iran, Israel eliminated their command and control structures. They eliminated their communications outpost. Totally blew it out. They no longer have that ability to communicate at all. Nothing. Also, I want to show you another picture here. I thought I had it in my here it is. I want to show you something else that Israel did over in Iran. They took out their television station. Some countries have only one television station, and as Iran is a Muslim country, they want to control everything that their people see. But as a result of what Israel did to Iran, that communication has been eliminated. This beautiful, beautiful television station in Iran, in Tehran, has been blown up. No longer exists. No longer exists. And in fact, when the Israeli bombs hit it, reporters from Iranian TV were on the air. They were knocked off and the building was destroyed. Completely obliterated. Not just that. Let me show you what else they did. It's incredible what was happened over there. They have completely eliminated Iran's capability to launch bombs or anything else at either the United States or Israel. Trish Killian just gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you a lot, Trish. We appreciate that. I just gave you an EMA sticker on your super chat. I'm giving you a thumbs up as well. Thanks, Trish. God bless you. God bless your husband as well. We love you very much. That's awesome. But again, this is an Iranian military facility with nuclear weapons. Nonce Iran. It's been eliminated. Been totally eliminated. And today is the fourth day of Israeli bombing in Iran. Not going to happen much longer. As President Trump told reporters today, that the U.S. and the Israeli military has ruled the skies. Now, I've been told that we don't have any U.S. planes over Iran right now, but Israel is running over there and Iran can't do anything about it. They don't have that ability. Let me show you a Fox News report here. I think this will give you more information here.
Welcome back. Well, the fighting between Israel and Iran ramped up overnight on this day 5 of the conflict. Hundreds of thousands have hunkered down in Tel Aviv bomb shelters as more are evacuating out of Tehran. Israeli media reporting that the IDF is attacking western Iran this morning on the heels of President Trump returning from the G7 meeting in Canada early. He left early to get back to D.C., and here's what he said from Air Force One. Watch.
About it, let's use we're not looking for a ceasefire. I didn't say I was looking for a ceasefire. That was Emmanuel, nice guy, but he doesn't get it right too often. But we're looking for better than a ceasefire.
Supporting Israel 100% to complete the campaign that they started here. And that campaign focuses on Iran's center of gravity, their nuclear enterprise. And they want to destroy that enterprise as much as they possibly can, decapitate the leadership, and they're doing a remarkable job in doing that, and also eliminate their ballistic missiles, which is their major weapon that they're using against the Israelis. And they're making significant progress in all three of these areas, as you have noted on this show. And the president is behind that 100%. I think what is in the offing here is Israel knows full well, even though they have significant imagination and significant covert capability, they know that there's a couple of deeply buried sites that they're very challenging for them to get to with air power. And I'm assuming they would like the United States to assist them in achieving that end state. After all, the president did say he's not going to permit Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And if we walk away and leave those sites intact, then the Ayatollah will be able to achieve what he's always wanted here. The reason why he never voluntarily dismantled the program through negotiations is because he was willing to accept the airstrike, believing that he could still recover some aspect of his nuclear enterprise after the airstrikes are completed, and he would be able to rebuild that nuclear program. That is where his head is, and we've got to stop that from happening, in my judgment. Assist the Israelis in their air campaign by conducting a limited but focused air campaign on using penetration bombing to eliminate the end of that nuclear end state. And that will be a major strategic achievement. That takes off the table. Think of what it does. Takes off the table the thought of a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. It reduces Iran's as a major power broker in the region. Yeah. And for the congressman to say that we've never been at war with Iran, formally, yeah, but they killed 241 Marines in the 80s. They blew up 2 of our embassies in Lebanon and Kuwait and killed hundreds.
The 241 Marines that killed were in Lebanon. They were in a U.S. military bunker, and there was a bomb that was detonated at the bunker and killed 241 Marines. I had a friend that was in that bunker in Lebanon. He was badly injured. He later became a federal police officer beside me. Okay? A friend of mine. In that bunker as a Marine, and later he was still able to become a federal police officer after he recovered. Amazing.
hundreds more. They killed scores of our Air Force personnel in the barracks in Saudi Arabia in the 90s, and it's a documented fact that they developed advanced IEDs to focus on U.S. soldiers in the war in Iraq. Lloyd Austin, the last general we had there, estimated they killed 2,000 of us there. So this has been going on for 45 years, and we have an opportunity to take them off the table here. Well, and I think that is the right thing to do.
And thank you for that, because I also should have reminded Congressman Warren Davidson, who was just with us, all of the times that Iran has been chanting death to America, which, of course, we know. But let me get back to what you're talking about in terms of these nuclear sites, which is so important. You've said that the nuclear enterprise was spread over 12-plus sites, and you're talking about this significant one, Fordow, underground, built in the mountainside. What's the danger of upsetting that, blowing that up, and what would it require in terms of the U.S.'s participation in helping Israel get to that site?
Well, we have deep penetration bombs that can reach that site, and likely it forces a collapse on itself. By that I mean we have bombs. That site is a half-mile down with 2 to 3 feet walls, and that's pretty significant in terms of a target. But our deep penetration bombs can achieve that end. So yes, we do have the capability, and there may be some other sites that may not be as deeply buried as that, but something that Israel has struggled to complete the destruction of, that we would assist in doing it. So that's very achievable, and we're not even conducting an air campaign here. This would be a limited but focused airstrikes, maybe a couple of days involved in it, to complete the destruction. And we're very familiar with this. We've had this on our target list for years. So our people, our intelligence people, and our air power people know exactly what they're doing if the president makes the decision, to do that. And let me mention something that may be in the back of other people's minds and the back of the congressman's mind, too. This is not Iraq or Afghanistan, where we went in with a ground invasion with the purpose of conducting regime change, and we wound up also doing nation building. There's no plans whatsoever for the United States or Israel to conduct a ground invasion. There's no plans for us to physically conduct a regime change. If a regime change comes internally, it'll be Iran's choice, not Israel's, and not the United States. So we got to understand what we are really dealing with here. And will that lead to a war? Don't think so. Iran's conventional military is very weak, and they know if they attack us decisively that our response will be overwhelming. It would be against their military targets, their economic energy targets, and their political targets. And that would likely result, inevitably, in an internal regime change taken as a result of the regime likely being destroyed in its capability to have influence over the people. The Iranian leadership understands this.
It's a really important point to make, as some Democrats in Congress are trying to reiterate what you just heard from Warren Davidson, as we're, quote unquote, we're not at war with Iran, when in fact, of course, Israel stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon is a U.S. core national interest. You've also got Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not ruling out assassinating Iran's supreme leader. When asked about taking that action, he said it's not going to escalate the conflict, it's going to end the conflict. But there was some speculation before that President Trump reportedly vetoed an Israeli plan to assassinate the Ayatollah. General, is that the only way to get regime change here?
No, I think the regime gets so weakened and its security forces so ineffective. Look at the penetration that's taken place of Iran's security forces. The fact that we are decapitating their military leadership, much as we did with Hezbollah, is because we have people in Iran who are providing that information to the Israelis. And that is why they've been so successful at covert operations for a number of years, destroying drone plants, destroying weapons factories, killing nuclear scientists, taking out the political leader of Hamas, who was in the VIP section of Tehran, the capital city, where all the other significant leaders live and penetrated exactly where that person was living. When they're killing these people, they're killing them in their apartments and in their homes or in their offices. They have exquisite intelligence. They can't achieve that end without having the security forces providing them some information. There's significant penetration taking place here, which certainly weakens the regime and the grip it has on its people. I don't want to go too far with that and be Pollyannish about it. I mean, these are killers and thugs, and if the people got in the streets tomorrow, they'd start shooting them, you know, for sure. But as this regime gets weaker, as a result of the campaign that's constructed against them, it makes them certainly more vulnerable to the people rising up and to leaders around them. There's severe criticism of the regime right now by insiders. They're stunned by the decapitation of the leaders that have taken place. They're severely criticizing the civilian leadership of the fact that all the air defense systems are down and Israel is flying. Can you imagine what it's like to be in Iran today and be a leader? And you hear all of those fighter jets flying over every single day, day and night.
Unbelievable.
And those are Israeli fighter jets. That is absolutely, the psychological and emotional impact of something like that is quite extraordinary. And the people are frustrated by this because the leaders brought this on them. And 80% of the people in Iran, you know, are opposed to the leadership. They know they're thugs and killers, and they've been repressing them for 45 years.
Well, the air superiority that Israel has been able to take into Iran is incredible. Real quick, General, how much longer do you think this goes on? And do you think the next step or upcoming steps will be the U.S.'s help with those penetration bombs to get to the nuclear sites underground?
Well, that's the president's decision. My thought is I think he should do it for all the obvious reason we just stated. I think we're about halfway through maybe the target set that Israel has. In terms of the Iranians, what they've been done, there's been 10 waves of ballistic missiles in the first 24 hours, 200. On the 15th, that was the 14th, on the 15th, 105.
Wow.
Yesterday, 24-hour period, 65, so it's going down. And also the casualties are going down, so that's good news.
Yes.
And so a lot of the launches are being destroyed, and the ballistic missile stockpiles are also being destroyed.
Incredible.
So eventually, that's going to come down to something that's very negligible. As Israel continues to destroy these ballistic missiles and their launch systems.
What an incredible success from the Israeli side. General, thank you so much, as always. General.
Okay, that was retired General Keane, K-E-A-N-E, who is a retired Army general. He retired right before President Trump came into office. We want to thank General Keane for doing this on Fox News. Now, that's not the only news that happened yesterday. Overnight, President Putin launched another air raid on Kiev, Ukraine. And this time, he killed an American citizen. President Putin launched an air raid on Kiev, Ukraine last night, and this time he killed quite a few people, including an American citizen. And President Trump is not happy about it. President Trump is not happy about it at all. Now, I have a feeling there's going to be some retribution against Putin, because President Trump has been trying to get a peace treaty between Ukraine and Russia. And Putin continues to punish Ukraine. Punish them by bombing them. Yes, Ukraine has also attacked Russia and very successfully attacked Russia. That is possibly why Putin attacked Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, and he killed an American there. Now, President Trump also yesterday issued an order for American citizens to leave certain communities and countries around the world. Ukraine is one of them. Now, I'm also going to advise anybody within the sound of my voice, wherever you're at, out of this country, you need to return to the United States immediately. You need to return to the United States immediately. Your safety may be in jeopardy. Your safety may be in jeopardy, guys. It's uncertain what's going to happen. It's uncertain what's going to happen. I'm giving you my opinion. I used to be a United States federal officer. I'm giving you more and more of my opinion as days go on. Now, some other things have been happening. Over in Los Angeles, during the 80s, they called it the Summer of Love. And then in the 2020s, right after China loosed the COVID virus on the world, they called us the Summer of Love. In Detroit, there are fires. Los Angeles, again in Salt Lake City this past weekend, Atlanta, Georgia, New York City, Philadelphia, Portland, Chicago, Minneapolis. All throughout these areas, they've been fires. There have been a lot of fires. Who's been responsible? As you saw during the past 2 weeks, there's been political unrest in the streets of Los Angeles. Who's been responsible? Governor Newsom and Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You see her picture here on the left. Also, who else? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has recently said protesters should not give up. Kamala Harris and Karen Bass are leading the fray against President Trump. Who else? Maxine Waters here on the left-hand side. If you see anybody from the cabinet in a restaurant, she said this last year. If you see anybody from the president's cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, in a gasoline station, you get out and create a crowd and you push back on them and you tell them they are not welcome anywhere anymore. Maxine Waters, a leading Democrat in the Senate of the United States. And then we have Nancy Pelosi from San Francisco. I just don't know why there aren't uprisings. She's saying there aren't uprisings, yet she sees it in Los Angeles and also in San Francisco and all over the world, all over the country. Maybe there will be more uprisings, Nancy. Unreal. These political leaders are leading the battalion against President Trump. This has to be stopped. These politicians, beginning with Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass in LA, they have to be reduced to rubble. They have to be taken out of their positions and put in jail. I don't want them hurt. I don't want them killed. I'm not calling for that. I'm calling for their arrest. Including Kamala Harris. Protesters should not let up. Really? That's calling for more violence. Kamala Harris, you need to be arrested. Maxine Waters was on the streets of Los Angeles last week, calling for more riots, calling for the protesters to attack police. Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi, you need to be arrested. I'm calling on Dan Bongino and Kash Patel of the FBI to get their FBI constituents in Los Angeles and San Francisco to go and arrest these politicians. They need to be behind bars. They're calling for more destruction in our country. This cannot happen any longer at all. Not at all. Then we have other things happen besides that. We have corporations. We have groups throughout this country that are contributing to the rioters, the protesters, putting bricks and other pallets of destructive material out on the streets for the protesters to use against the police and the National Guard and the Marine Corps that are out there to protect our cities. Notice Mayor Bass here in the center of your program, or center of this picture here. Mayor Bass from Los Angeles, which is a member of CHIRA, Chirla. Chirla. Chirla is a Chinese-backed group. Chirla is a Chinese-backed group, guys, calling for the overthrow of this country. They're calling for the overthrow of this country. Chirla is described as the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. But in that, Chirla is backed by China. China, guys. Yes, it's supposed to be backed for human immigrant rights in California and all over. But guess what? It's not just for immigrant rights. Chirla has also been responsible for putting pallets of brick and other debris out there for the rioters to use against the police, the ICE, the National Guard, and the Marine Corps. They're also funding what's going on. They're providing the capital resources for these rioters to go on. Okay? It's not helping the people it should be helping. It's a front for China to fund these riots. Not just that. Not just that. The Soros Foundation. The Soros Foundation from George Soros. George Soros has been funding ICE riots and the No King protests with our tax money. One of our news media, Bill Riley, said, quote, "So they did some research to find out who pays for these kinds of demonstrations in Los Angeles. The main agency is the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, Chirla. Chirla. This is funded by the far left. The far left people like George Soros Open Society Foundation. They pour a lot of money into it. Then these people organize the protests. But this is not the worst about this. The state of California also finances another group. It's called the LA Rapid Response Network. The LA Rapid Response Network. It also finances the state of California, the Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights. So that's our tax money going to this organization. Our tax money going to this organization. So during the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, 2 years ago, the Organic Coalition for Humane Immigration received from the state of California $34 million. $34 million of taxpayer money has now been spent on financing these protesters, financing putting pallets of bricks and other debris on the streets for these protesters to use against our police departments, our police officers, our DEA agents, our Immigration Customs Enforcement agents, our Customs Border Patrol agents, and also our National Guard and Marine Corps. Unreal. Guys, our own taxpayer money are going to finance these organizations. Incredible. It's completely incredible. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Then we have other things going on. Okay? We have politicians calling this a peaceful demonstration. A peaceful demonstration burning down buildings, setting cars on fire, not just in LA, but in New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Austin, Dallas, Texas, and other places. Yet they called those people that went peacefully into the Capitol building in 2021 an insurrection. An insurrection. It was not an insurrection. There was nobody other than peaceful. Nobody did damage to our Capitol building. But the Democrat Party called that an insurrection. They're calling this destruction of property a peaceful protest. What's going on here? The Democrat Communist Party of America is causing this violence, this insurrection against our country, this insurrection against President Trump. Our Democrat Communist Party calling this an insurrection inside the United States Capitol, when in fact what's actually going on here in the streets today is an insurrection. It's a violent protest that should never be let to happen at all. At all. Renee Steffi is also talking about another tornado watch. I-235 in Wichita, Kansas is a semi has flipped over on its side after experiencing 70-mile-per-hour gusts. If you're traveling in that area, please use caution. A tornado warning, possibly. Tornadoes have 70-mile-per-hour winds. Even an F1 tornado has 67-mile-per-hour winds. Straight line winds are what the jet stream is usually called when the jet stream lowers down out of the upper atmosphere and hits the surface. Straight line winds can also cause that. Those of you in Kansas, anywhere around I-235, beware of this. Exercise extreme caution. Exercise extreme caution. Renee Steffi also goes on to say, if you're in a parking garage, under an overpass, be advised. Don't park under an overpass. Don't park in a parking garage, because those straight line winds or the tornado winds will cause your cars to move. It will move cars. It will move anything that's not locked down. It will pull you out of it. It will pull human beings out of it into the storm and kill you. Be very safe. Don't go there. Don't go there. If people are parked underneath overpasses, guys, if people are parked on the highway underneath overpasses, don't go there. Don't go there. Stay away from the tornadoes. Stay away from these high winds. Okay? If you go into that parking structure or into that overpass area, it will impede traffic and first responders from responding to emergencies. Don't go there. Stay completely away from there. Okay? I'm telling you that not just because Renee Steffi put it up here. I'm telling you that because I'm a former police officer. I've seen things happen. Okay? Anyway, guys, I'm tired of the left calling this a peaceful protest. I'm tired of the left that is taking our tax money and paying these protesters to destroy our property. President Trump issued a warning to these protesters yesterday. Get off the streets. You will be arrested. Get off the streets, you're going to be arrested. Since that order came, over 125 people have been arrested. Over 125 people have been arrested, and more will go to jail as well. More are going to go to jail as well. What else is going on? This. Now, I'm sorry to say, there have been DMV, motor vehicle employees, that have been arrested for selling commercial driver's licenses to more than 1,000 illegal immigrants. DMV employees have been arrested for selling Chinese-made commercial driver's licenses, truck driver licenses, to illegal immigrants. President Trump issued an order that no immigrant that could not speak English was allowed to have a commercial driver's license. Non-English speaking migrants are not allowed to drive trucks in the United States at all. At all. And yet there are people out there that are doing it. I picked this picture up because I am aware of who it is that they're talking about. A person was hit in this car and the car was demolished by an immigrant that did not have a commercial driver's license issued to him, and yet he plowed into this car and killed everyone in it. And one of the people was disabled completely. Please, guys, please be aware of this. If at all possible, stay away from semi-trucks. Stay away from semi-trucks. Our police here in North Carolina and in other states are going to the job sites where these truckers are. They are arresting illegal immigrants that are in the trucks. They are arresting illegal immigrants at the driving facilities. If they're out in the trucks, the police are stopping them and arresting them and impounding the trucks. Don't go there. Don't go there, guys. I'm telling you. Please be careful out there. If you are an illegal migrant within the sound of my voice and you understand English, if you can't speak it, stay out of the trucks. Stay off of roadways. If you cannot afford insurance, stay off of roadways. When I was a cop in Denver, when I was a police officer in Denver, I was rear-ended by a migrant without a driver's license, without insurance. I was injured. Yet I arrested this idiot. Then the local cops came. I turned this idiot over to the local cops. We towed his car. His car was newer model than mine. And he hit me without insurance, without a driver's license. Migrants, if you can't speak English, if you don't have a driver's license, if you don't have insurance to drive that car, stay off the road. Because one of my associates will arrest you. And you will not just go to jail, you will be impounded by ICE. ICE will arrest you. ICE will take you back to your land where you came from. You're not allowed to be here. You're not allowed to be here. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. Hacksaw says Soros assets frozen, but not proxy family members. Same as the Pelosi Act. Yeah. Guess what? Soros' son that George Soros is turning his company over to, Alex. Guess what? Soros' son Alex got married on Sunday in the Hamptons. Here in the United States, at the Soros mansion in the Hamptons. Guess who Alex Soros married? Hillary Clinton's chief aide, Huma Abedin. You remember Huma Abedin? Guess who she was married to? Guess who she was married to? A guy that went to jail. A guy who went to jail. Unreal. Huma Abedin was Hillary Clinton's chief aide. Huma Abedin was Anthony Weiner's wife. They finalized their divorce in 2025, earlier this year. They initially filed for divorce in 2017, but they withdrew their case in 2018 to settle privately and spare their son from further embarrassment because Anthony Weiner had gone to jail. He had children's pornographic pictures on his computer. Unreal. He went to jail. He later got out. Then after their divorce was finalized earlier this year, Abedin became engaged to Alexander Soros, the son of George Soros, at the end of 2024. And she married him this past Sunday in the Hamptons. Incredible. Incredible. Guess who was there? Clintons. Hillary and Bill Clinton were there, and Barack and Michelle Obama. Barack and Michelle Obama were also there. Interesting how these same people that cause problems are at one of their buddies' socialite marriages. They're also causing problems by financing the problems. Incredible. Completely incredible. Anyway, I just want to bring you up to date about what's going on. I think it's important. We still have a full contingent of aircraft and Navy vessels over in the Middle East right now. A lot of them. It's going to continue. It will continue. Now, let's talk about earthquakes. I want to bring you up to date about earthquakes here as well. I'm going to take down our webcam here. I'm going to take down our EMA banner here. I brought up the USGS map. I want to show you what's actually going on. Okay? Right here. Still over here in the Imperial Valley in Southern California. The Imperial Valley stretches from north of the Salton Sea up here all the way down to the Mexican border, US-Mexican border here. They're not showing any earthquakes here in the Imperial Valley. There are over 500 earthquakes a day here in the Imperial Valley. Over 500 earthquakes a day here in the Imperial Valley. Crazy. USGS and the University of, actually not the University, the Caltech, California Institute of Technology, that governs all the updates on earthquakes in California, are not publishing it. They don't want people to know what's going on. Down here, just south of the border. Actually, this is just north of the border. Ocotillo, California. This is a 2.0 earthquake. 2.0 minor earthquake. North of there. Here in the Imperial Valley on the east side of the Chocolate Mountains. Ocotillo Wells, this is another 2.0 earthquake. Right here. This is a 1.0 tremor here. Going north. This is a 1.0 tremor in Borrego Springs, the Anza Borrego Desert State Park. This is also a 0.6 microquake here in the Borrego Springs, Anza Borrego Desert State Park here in northeast San Diego County. Northeast San Diego County. Let's go over here to San Diego County, East County. Just about a little over a month ago, we had a 5.0 earthquake over here in Julian, California. A small town here in eastern San Diego County. We had a 5.0 earthquake. This is a 0.5 microquake aftershock. A 0.5 microquake aftershock of that 5.0 earthquake that hit here in Julian just over a month ago. But it's not over. There's more. Let's go north here. Northeast of Lake Henshaw, we have a lake that's called, or east of Escondido, California. Northeast of Escondido, California, we have Lake Henshaw. This is a 1.0 tremor here. This is a 1.1 tremor here. 1 mile southeast of Lake Henshaw. Let's take a closer look. I want to show you this. This is at Lake Henshaw. It's not east-southeast, it's at Lake Henshaw. Again, USGS is lying to us. If they're lying to us or if they're omitting information, that is also a lie. This is a 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.0 tremor. This is a 1.0 tremor here. This is a 1.0 tremor here. And this is a 0.7 microquake at Lake Henshaw, northeast of Escondido. USGS again is lying about the location of these earthquakes. Incredible. I used to live in Escondido. I fished at Lake Henshaw many times. I fished at Lake Henshaw many times. Let's go north. Both of these sets of earthquakes from Lake Henshaw and Julian all the way up here to Palomar Mountain are part of the San Jacinto fault line. The San Jacinto fault line. This is a 1.0 tremor near Palomar Observatory. Palomar Observatory is right here. Guess what? This is less than a mile northwest of Palomar Observatory. USGS is calling this southwest of Palomar Observatory. Sorry guys, this is northwest of Palomar Observatory. If you don't know, Palomar Observatory is the home where the Hale telescope is. The Hale telescope. The Hale telescope was put here on Palomar Mountain as an observatory to the stars back in the early 40s. Back in the early 40s, the road leading up here to Palomar Mountain to the observatory was dirt and gravel. They had to haul this mirror and also the lens to the telescope up on this dirt and gravel road, hoping not to break it. Yes, they got here. They installed the mirror and the lens at the Palomar telescope, and they've been observing way out into the heavens ever since. I've been there many times. Okay? Again, we have a 1.0 tremor northwest of Palomar Observatory. I have a lot of stories I could tell you about Palomar Observatory. Maybe one day I'll take the time. Up here, north of there, they say this is 1.5 miles northwest of Palomar Observatory. I'm sorry to say it's not northwest of anything. Okay? It's not northwest of anything. It's northeast of Palomar. Northeast of Palomar Observatory. USGS still lies about everything. They're lying about this. This is a 0.8 microquake, northeast of Palomar Observatory. They're not getting anything right. They're not batting 100. They're batting minus numbers. Minus numbers. Look at all the other earthquakes here. Idlewild, California, San Bernardino Mountains, 0.7 microquake, 0.9 microquake, 0.1 tremor here. 0.1 tremor here. Also, guess what? Guess where this is? Can you guess where it's at? The San Jacinto Fault. The San Jacinto Fault here. Going up here into Los Angeles area, right here. They're calling this a quarry blast. They're calling this a quarry blast, guys. Look where it's at. It happens to be on a highway. It happens to be on Interstate 15. I'm sorry, it's not Interstate 15, it's Interstate 10. Obviously, this is not a quarry blast. This is, again, an attempt by the United States Geological Survey to lie to the public. It's not a quarry blast, it's a tremor. It's a 1.1 tremor here, USGS, under a highway. This happens to be almost a little over a quarter of a mile deep underneath Interstate 10 here, near Lake Elsinore. Near Lake Elsinore. I swear, guys, USGS has a lot to be desired. Incredible. Calling a quarry blast under a highway. Nowhere near the quarry, huh? Nowhere near it. Unreal. Let's go up here. Yorba Linda, California. Yorba Linda, California. Guess what, guys? You know what this is? This is the birthplace of a former president. This is the birthplace of a former president. President Richard M. Nixon was born here in Yorba Linda, California. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake here in Yorba Linda. A 2.0 earthquake here in Yorba Linda, California. Richard Nixon's birthplace. Richard Nixon was president of the United States between 1968 to 1974. Incredible. Incredible. Up here, Ontario, California. This near the San Jacinto Fault. A 0.7 microquake. Incredible. Going over here, Riverside. Good old Riverside. This is a 1.0 tremor here. Redlands, California. Redlands, California. Unreal. This is Little Creek, California. Lytle, California. A 1.4 tremor here. Guys, this is a small example of earthquakes that have happened. A very small example. Because here in Los Angeles County right here, in this area right here, there are over 400 earthquakes every day. 400 earthquakes every day. Every day, without fail. But let me take you out here. I want you to see something. Right out here, there's something else going on. Over here near this earthquake here, near Little Creek. This happens to be the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault, as we said before, is a very active fault. And it's built up. The seismic energy is built up here and is locked and loaded. I believe probably by the end of this summer, we're going to have a major earthquake here, east of Los Angeles. And because there's so many faults throughout this area, it will ignite all of these other faults. And these other faults will also collapse. And we're going to have spontaneous earthquakes here. We're going to have spontaneous earthquakes all over this area. Now, Demon Catman was talking about spontaneous combustus carnivorous, or a spontaneous combustus guardrail at that highway. It could have been. Demon Catman, it could have been. Could have been a guardrail exploding. Don't you just love the USBS? I can't stand them. I honestly can't stand the USBS at all. Going north here. Santa Paula, California. 1.6 tremor. 1.8, Ojai, California. Ojai, California. This also is a 1.8 tremor. Going over here. This is called Fraser Park, California. This is the western end of the Garlock Fault. The western end of the Garlock Fault. This is a 1.7 tremor. Further to the northeast here, Johannesburg, California. There's been a swarm of earthquakes here for about 2 months now. It's not going to let up. It's not going to let up at all. It's on the Garlock Fault. This is a 1.0 tremor. This is a 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.4 tremor. This is a 0.8 microquake. And out here to the south, a 1.2 tremor here. But over here, closer to the fault line, right here, another 1.0 tremor here on the Garlock Fault. But what's further north? Ridgecrest, California. Ridgecrest, California. What's here? This is a 0.5 microquake. The 0.5 microquake near Ridgecrest, the home of a 7.1 earthquake back in July 4th, 2019. that scientists now say was probably an 8.0 earthquake. Right here, 1.1 tremor here. Just northeast of that quake near Ridgecrest, 1.1 tremor. North of there, another 1.1 tremor here in Searles Valley. Going north, Little Lake, California, 0.5 microquake. Going north again, another 0.9, 1.0 tremor. Going north here, Little Lake, California, 0.8 microquake. 0.9, 1.0 tremor here, Little Lake, California. Fascinating. This area is over here in the Mojave Desert. The Mojave Desert. Guys, we are going to continue to see this happen. I believe we may see another major earthquake here in Ridgecrest. Don't know where it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Let's go north here to Mammoth Mountain. Over here near just south of Mammoth Mountain, we have Round Valley. Round Valley volcano. Round Valley volcano, guys, guess what? Volcanic area. We have a 2.1 earthquake. Why? Because there's magma down beneath these volcanic craters. Magma down beneath these volcanic craters spread out all throughout this area. That's why they have this 2.1 earthquake here in Round Valley. It's a volcanic field, a huge volcanic field. North of there, this is Mammoth Lakes, Mammoth Mountain. They're saying this is a 0.6 microquake. Guess what? There are dozens of microquakes here at Mammoth Mountain. There are dozens of minor earthquakes here as well. There's also a couple 3.0 earthquakes here at Mammoth Mountain. What's Mammoth Mountain? It's a volcano. It's a volcano. East of Mammoth Mountain is what? What do we have out here east of Mammoth Mountain? Can anybody tell me what we have out here? Let me give you a hint. This is a super volcano here. This is a super volcano. And they're not even showing earthquakes here. There are all kinds of earthquakes here. There are 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, even 4.0 earthquakes out here at the super volcano. We go up here. This is Mono Lake. Mono Lake just happens to be a volcano. The center island here is the volcanic summit of the volcano here. Yes, there are earthquakes hitting here, but they're not talking about it. But they're talking about this earthquake here in the Aurora Borealis craters area. This is a 3.0 earthquake in the Aurora Borealis craters. The Aurora Borealis craters are out here in the desert east of Mono Lake. Separate volcanoes. Separate and distinct volcanoes over here in the volcanic field. A 3.0 earthquake here in the Aurora Borealis craters area. That happens. It happens all the time. Up here near the border of Central California and Nevada, this is Walker Lake. Walker Lake. How many of us have heard of the Walker Lane Fault? The Walker Lane Fault. This is a 1.4 tremor on the Walker Lane Fault. Right here, Colville, California, also on the Walker Lane Fault, a 1.6 tremor. Folks, the Walker Lane Fault extends from up here. Up here. This is Tahoe Vista, California. Tahoe Vista, California. 1.0 tremor. Just west of the Walker Lane Fault. All the way north up here. Right here. This is Pyramid Lake. Pyramid Lake is also a volcano, but it's also the northern point of the Walker Lane Fault. The Walker Lane Fault extends from Pyramid Lake all the way down here to the Gulf of California. The Walker Lane Fault. About a year or so ago, we had a program that centered all about the Walker Lane Fault and what was going on. If you want more information about the Walker Lane Fault, I urge you to go seek out the Navy map. Go onto the internet and type in Navy map. You're going to see the Walker Lane Fault full of water. There's going to be some major earthquake activity between the Gulf of California and Pyramid Lake up here to the north. Major earthquakes. They're going to fill this Walker Lane Fault area with water. It's not just going to be one earthquake, it's going to be many of them. It's going to be many of them. You need to be aware of it because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I've talked a lot about earthquakes up and down the coastline of California. The San Andreas Fault is worse. However, the Walker Lane Fault could give up a ghost very quickly, and people will get killed. Thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of people die when that fault opens up. Because when that fault opens up, water is going to rush in from the Gulf of California and fill this entire area. The west side of California will be its own state, its own island. Nevada will become a harbor. Carson City, Nevada may become a harbor city of Nevada as a result of the Walker Lane Fault. Fact. Now, Renee Steffi's also been showing severe thunderstorm warnings. She's showing one thunderstorm warning near Sedgwick, Kansas, for Butler, Kansas, and Sedgwick, Kansas. Another severe tornado warning. State College, Pennsylvania, for Fulton, Pennsylvania. A tornado warning for Fulton, Pennsylvania. Another flash flood advisory because of heavy rains in the vicinity of Bedford, Pennsylvania. Bedford, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area of Bedford, Pennsylvania and Westmoreland, Pennsylvania, you need to seek higher ground immediately. Do not attempt to drive over flooded roadways. Do not try to walk across flooded roadways. 6 inches of flowing water will sweep you off your feet. 12 inches of water will float your car. Do not try to cross flooded roadways for any reason. Also, flooded roadways will undermine the roadway itself. If you try to cross it with a car, your car will go into the flooded cavern beneath the road. The roadway is going to collapse and you'll get stuck. And then you'll have to be rescued. Don't go there. Stay out of flooded roadways. Stay off flooded roadways, period. Save your life. Back up. Save your life. Tornado warnings. Go to a tornado shelter immediately. If you don't have a tornado shelter, go to the interior part of your home. Stay away from external walls of your home. Stay completely away from exterior walls of your home. Stay away from open windows. Do not open windows at all. Stay away from windows because they can blow out with the tornado winds. You'll get cut up. You might die. Exterior walls will be penetrated by anything that the wind picks up, including 2x4s. Stay away from exterior walls. Go to the interior part of your home, preferably a hallway away from windows. Get your mattress and pull your mattress up on top of you, your kids, and your pets, and stay there till the all clear is given. Stay there till the all clear is given. I'm telling you right now. Be safe, don't be sorry. I'm going to the southern end of the Cascadia subduction zone because right here on the northern San Andreas Fault, we have a 2.2 earthquake here off the Northern California coast. Another earthquake on the fault as well, a 1.7 tremor here. The southern part of the Cascadia subduction zone. Today we have no earthquakes in the vicinity of the Cascadia subduction zone, the Blanco fracture zone, the Juan de Fuca fault, or the Gorda Escarpment or the Gorda Ridge. All these fault zones are in the region of the Cascadia subduction zone. Tomorrow we're going to talk about earthquakes in the Pacific Northwest. I have a full report I've got ready, almost ready for you about the earthquakes and the volcanoes in the Pacific Northwest. You need to be here. You need to be here for that report. Because I'm telling you, if you live in here or your friends or relatives live in the Pacific Northwest, you're going to want to be part of this program tomorrow night. Tell everybody about this program. I'm asking you to share this program with everybody you know. Your family, your extended family, your friends and your relatives, friends and neighbors. Share this program with the people you work with and also the people you socialize with on social media. They need to hear tomorrow's program. They need to hear tonight's program as well. Let's go over here to Northwest Alaska. This is a 3.3 small earthquake. 3.3 small earthquake here in Northwest Alaska. This happens to be 31 kilometers deep. Still a very shallow earthquake. Over here near Mount McKinley, northwest of Mount McKinley here, is a new earthquake. This is a 1.6 tremor here in the Denali National Park area. Just north of Mount McKinley here is 1.4 tremor here, Denali National Park. Just so you know. Just so you know. Now I'm coming down here to Anchorage. I want to show you where Anchorage is right here. This is Anchorage. Across the Cook Inlet here. This waterway coming from the North Pacific here is called the Cook Inlet. Across the Cook Inlet here is the volcano. 75 miles from Anchorage is Mount Spur. Mount Spur has been having earthquakes and tremors for some time now. Mount Spur has also had a open lava pit at the summit of the volcano. At the summit of the volcano is an open lava pit. Magma has gone up there and has breached the summit. Now, while it's not flowing down the sides of the volcano, there is a risk for ashfall. There is a risk for ashfall. So far, there's been no ash or very little ash at all. I'm putting the warning out right now. There is a volcanic advisory at Mount Spur today. There is a volcanic advisory at Mount Spur today. Over here to the north, Big Lake, Alaska. This is a 1.0 tremor. North of Big Lake here is a 2.0 earthquake at Meadow Lakes, Alaska. Further down here to the southwest, this is over near Beluga, Alaska in the Cook Inlet. This is a 2.2 earthquake. I want to go south now. I want to talk about earthquakes down here at Old Ililama volcano. Old Ililama volcano began erupting. There was an ash eruption up to a mile high here at Old Ililama volcano. Right here we have a 1.0 tremor north of Old Ililama. Southwest of Old Ililama right here we have a minus 0.5 microquake. This isn't a this is not above sea level. This is 2.5 miles deep. 2.5 miles deep. USGS has minus numbers showing above sea level. It's not. This happens to be 2.5 miles deep. It's 0.5 microquake. Right here, they say this is a surface quake. Really? A surface quake. just over 2 miles deep. This is not a surface quake, guys. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake here, southwest of Old Lama volcano. If you are in here around the Cook Inlet here, or you are in or around the airspace around here, stay away from it. Stay away from it. There could still be an eruption of ash out here, and airplanes and jet engines don't like ash. Stay away from it. Stay completely away from it. Okay? Now I'm going to go further down here into the Aleutian Island chain. There has been a good sized earthquake here near Attu Station. By good sized earthquakes, I mean a 4.4 moderate earthquake. A 4.4 moderate earthquake down here in the Aleutian Island chain. While this earthquake is nowhere near land, it's 210 kilometers southeast of Attu Station. See where that island here is? 210 kilometers, probably close to 180 miles south of Attu Station. A 4.4 moderate earthquake here. 4.4 moderate earthquake here. Down here near Kamchatka Peninsula here, the southern end of Kamchatka Peninsula. This is another 4.7 moderate earthquake here. 4.7 earthquake here. This is typically called the Kuril Islands. The Kuril Islands. However, what is over here on the west side here? This is a volcano. This is called Ebeko volcano. Ebeko volcano. It has been erupting. It has been erupting, but it's not erupting right now. When you see the name Ebeko volcano, you now know where it is. In the Kuril Islands here, just south of Kamchatka Peninsula. So you know. Let's continue going south. South here in the Kuril Islands, we also have another 4.2 moderate earthquake. 68 kilometers deep. 68 kilometers deep. Southeast of Tokyo. Southeast of Tokyo, we have a 4.2 earthquake. A moderate 4.2 earthquake. This is 113 kilometers deep. Now, there are other earthquakes, but USGS is not showing them. I'm telling you, there are more earthquakes. Let's go down here in the Mariana Trench. In the Mariana Trench here, we have a 3.8 small earthquake. A 3.8 small earthquake southeast of Inararan Village, Guam. Southeast of the island of Guam. Okay? Mariana Trench. We go over here to the Philippines. The Philippines. We have a large 5.3 earthquake here. A large 5.3 earthquake off the northeast coast of Mindanao, Philippines. Now, this may be, I'm saying maybe, an aftershock of a 7.4 earthquake that hit here 2 years ago. There was a 7.4 earthquake that hit here 2 years ago. This may be an aftershock. This is a large 5.3 earthquake here off the east side of Mindanao, Philippines. South down here, the southern end of the Mindanao, Philippines. Mindanao, Philippines is the largest island in the Philippines. Southern Philippines here. This is a 4.7 earthquake. 4.7 earthquake. Guess what? It's right along the coastline. Now, while there may be people who live in this area, I don't think they felt it. This is 12 kilometers, probably 6 to 7 miles southeast of the Philippines here. I think what happened here is the ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. If the quakes are offshore, usually the Pacific Ocean waters or any of the ocean seas absorb the shockwaves of these quakes, especially if they're only moderate quakes. Well, this other one was off the northeast side here. This was also 42 kilometers offshore. I don't think anybody even felt this over here off the northeast side of Mindanao, Philippines. Yes, there are villages here in Mindanao, Philippines, right there. Right there. Okay? Now, I wanted to show you something else. I want to go up here. I want to show Taiwan. Now, for the most part, I don't believe Taiwan has had any earthquakes to speak of today. If they have had, they're just minor tremors. But there's something else going on here in Taiwan. Today, as of last night, the Chinese Navy has had Taiwan surrounded. They've had Taiwan surrounded. I believe the Chinese military are planning an attack against Taiwan to take Taiwan while the United States is busy trying to protect Israel. Yeah. The Chinese military moved in here last night. They have surrounded Taiwan. Taiwan's own military has been practicing to fight off the Chinese military. But the Taiwan military is very small. The United States military has given China, or given, not China, but the Taiwan, missiles and artillery and ammunition to fight off the Chinese until the United States can put Marines on shore in Taiwan. The people of Taiwan and even the president of Taiwan do not want to cede to China. China's been trying to take Taiwan for some time. China is thought to be taking over Taiwan anyway, as even 30, 40 years ago, because of President Carter. President Carter years ago signed over Taiwan for $1. $1. The British turned over Taiwan to the Chinese under President Carter, letting it go. But Taiwan does not want to become Chinese at all. Yes, they may speak Mandarin Chinese, but they don't want to come under China's control. I saw an interview with Sean. Most of you know who I'm talking about. He interviewed the president of Taiwan. Taiwan does not want to become part of China, and yet the Chinese Navy have surrounded Taiwan, and also over here on the Chinese mainland here. They have established Chinese Air Force bases in preparation to take Taiwan. Fact. Yes, we have 2 aircraft carriers in this area between Taiwan and the Philippines because China also wants to take over the Philippines. Crazy, huh? Yeah, it is. It really is. Now, I told you yesterday that down here in Indonesia, we had 28 earthquakes. We have 24 earthquakes here in Indonesia today. Guess what? USGS is only showing 4 earthquakes here in Indonesia. This is wrong. Down here near Bengkulu, Sumatra, Indonesia, this is a 4.5 earthquake here on the coastline. Down here further is a 4.7 here. Also just off the coastline here. Then we come over here further to the east on the east side of East Java. This is a 4.6 moderate earthquake here near Pototano, Indonesia. 4.6 earthquake here. Going north, this is another 5.1 large earthquake here. Tobelo, Indonesia. Here is a 4.7. This, folks, is a 5.3 near Barcelona, Philippines. I talked about these 2 earthquakes before. But this one, and this one. 4 earthquakes being shown by the USGS in Indonesia. There are 24 earthquakes here in Indonesia. A far underestimate of what's actually going on. USGS will never tell us the truth ever again. I don't think USGS will ever tell us the truth ever again. Right here to the east. This is the 4.4 earthquake here near Papua, Indonesia. 4.4 earthquake here, 10 kilometers deep. Over here, Papua New Guinea, a 4.8 earthquake here, 75 kilometers deep. Over here in Solomon Islands, we have some minor earthquakes here. USGS is not going to show them. Down here in Vanuatu, we have earthquakes here. USGS is not showing them. Linda Covington has asked, I don't know what a PDS storm is. It's a pretty dangerous storm. PDS is pretty dangerous storm. PDS, pretty dangerous storm. Pretty dangerous storm. USBS is also not showing any earthquakes over here in Fiji. There are earthquakes here, but USBS is not showing them. Over here, south of Tonga, the Kermadec Islands here. This is the 5.0 earthquake here, 5.0 earthquake here, 4.8 earthquake here. Further to the southwest here, south of Fiji, a 4.4 earthquake here. Interesting. They're not showing any earthquakes at all anymore over here in the Kermadecs. However, there are. Over here in New Zealand, there are earthquakes here, North and the South Island, and USBS is not showing them. What a liar. What a liar they are. They keep lying. I don't believe they know even what truth is. Over here in South America, they're only showing 3 earthquakes here. Why not? Why are they only showing 3 earthquakes? Down here in central Chile, there are 12 earthquakes here. There might be more. Going up here to the north. Argentina, the Argentine-Chilean border here. This is the 4.4 earthquake here, near San Antonio de los Cobres, Argentina. 4.4 earthquake, 200 kilometers deep. Over here near the shoreline of Chile, Tirana, Chile, Antofagasta, Chile. 3.7 minor earthquake here, or small earthquake. 3.7 small earthquake. Guess what? All the way up here to the north. Ecuador. Good old Ecuador. Here we have a 4.2 earthquake. 4.2 earthquake. Interesting. Interesting. It's in the Andes Mountains of Ecuador. In the eastern Andes Mountains of Ecuador. Kind of crazy, huh? There are approximately 26 earthquakes here in South America between Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, and Argentina. They're not showing but 3. Inquiring minds will know. Down here, this is another large 5.0 earthquake in the South Sandwich Islands in the South Atlantic Ocean. Large 5.0 earthquake. This earthquake energy is going to go over here to the Mid-Atlantic Fault. The center of the Mid-Atlantic Fault here, South Atlantic. Today here in the South Atlantic Fault, we have another 5.0 large earthquake here. So we have another 5.0 energy coming up here in the South Atlantic very soon, probably within the next couple days. This 5.0 energy here, tomorrow will probably be up here in the central Mid-Atlantic. Then we're going to see it progress up here into the North Mid-Atlantic and probably also end up here near Iceland within the next week, just so you know. Yes, there are other earthquakes here in Scandinavia. There are a couple of minor earthquakes over here in England. There are some minor earthquakes here in Spain. Minor earthquakes and tremors over here in Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. Over here in Italy, northern Italy, we have a bunch of tremors here. Going further down here in north central Italy, we have some minor tremors and some 2.0 earthquakes. Down here on the eastern shores, or excuse me, not eastern, but western shores of Italy, we have a volcano that's trying to erupt right here. Vesuvius volcano right here. We have earthquakes here, but neither USGS or the European agencies showing what's going on. Sad but true. Sad but true. If you go to the Italian Earthquake Agency, they're going to show you the tremors and the earthquakes. Fact. Fact. Earthquakes down here in southern Italy and Sicily. Earthquakes. Down here. What do we have down here south of Crete? South of Crete, Greece, we have a 4.6. But again, the USGS is lying to us. There are more earthquakes around Crete, Greece. There are more earthquakes in mainland Greece here. There are more earthquakes over here in the Aegean Sea here. A lot more earthquakes. Most of the earthquakes are right here. Either around Santorini here or north of Santorini out here, underneath the ocean here. Magma underneath the ocean is trying to hit bedrock here, trying to find a way to erupt. There's active magma trying to erupt here, underneath the Aegean Sea. All over here. All over. Western Turkey here. Western Turkey has plenty of earthquakes. Northern Turkey and southern Turkey has plenty of earthquakes. All over. Literally. All over. Guys, I'm telling you. We have even more earthquakes here in eastern Turkey right here at the Turkey-Syria border region. Why? We have 23 earthquakes here. Aftershocks. Aftershocks of a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that hit here 2 years ago. Nearly 2.5. February 3rd, 2019. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake here, and we're still having aftershocks today. They're going to continue for many, many years now. Many, many years. Over in Iran, we have earthquakes, north and central Iran. All over. Literally all over. They're going to continue. They're going to continue. I promise you, they're going to continue. Not going to end. I'm sorry, this is Iran here. This is another 4.2. There's been 4.2, 4.7, and 4.8 earthquakes here in Iran. Possibly from big bunker busters. From big bunker busters. I'm not going to discount that. I'm not going to discount that. Today, remember we had 6 earthquakes here in Afghanistan and here in Tajikistan. Today here we have a 4.2 earthquake here in Farkhar, Afghanistan. Farkhar, F-A-R-K-H-A-R, Afghanistan. A 4.2 earthquake. For the north here, we have a 4.5 earthquake here in Tajikistan. Tajikistan. Earthquakes out all over this area. Over here you see the Himalaya Mountains. The Himalaya Mountains are the edge of the craton. The Himalaya Mountains are the edge of the plate here. That's why we get earthquakes over here in Afghanistan and Tajikistan. Seismic energy coming through the natural plate here, the natural earthquake faults. Down here in Burma, that's now named Myanmar. Burma here, we have had earthquakes here today. Unreal. Continuing. Aftershocks of a major earthquake that hit here several months ago. We're going to continue seeing earthquakes here for time in memoriam. Now, I know there are other earthquakes that we haven't talked about. That's because USGS is not showing them. I try to show you what earthquakes I have. Yesterday, I showed you a tour of the world using both maps, the USGS and the EMSC map. I'm telling you, there are earthquakes here. There are earthquakes here all over the place. Do we have any questions? Do we have any earthquakes? Renee Steffi has posted another severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service in Wichita, Kansas, for Butler, Kansas. 2-inch hail and 70+ mile-per-hour winds. That sounds like there's going to be a very dangerous storm there, possibly a tornado. If you guys live anywhere near Butler, you need to take cover now. Take cover now. Do not drive your car with 2-inch hail falling. It'll shatter your windshield and you won't be able to see and you'll crash. Park your car. Don't go anywhere. Park your car. Don't go anywhere. You may already have a shattered window even if you do park, but at least you'll be safe. Okay? I've seen it happen. Aubrey's asking, is Turkey expecting another big one, Ron? I don't think they'll have another big one for a while. It's possible, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think the next big earthquake is going to happen over in southern Mexico and in southern California, and possibly up in the Cascadia subduction zone. But I don't think the Cascadia is going to go yet for possibly another 2 years. But it could happen anytime. It could happen anytime. Does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about tonight? I tried to give you a comprehensive tour of where the earthquakes are because we have family here. We have family over in New Zealand. We have family over in Indonesia. I've taken questions through my email from Indonesia. I've taken questions from South America, Central America, and Mexico. I've taken questions from Romania. I've taken questions from over in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. I've taken but questions from people in Spain, all over. Guys, the whole earth is an earthquake punching ball. The entire earth is an earthquake punching ball. It could happen at any time. And I see it happening at literally any time, ever. Ever. They're going to continue happening. I know I've talked a lot about earthquakes and politics. Does anybody have any questions for me? Renee Steffi's asking about Hawaii. Kilauea volcano at Holly Mau Mau crater is still erupting. Kilauea volcano is putting up fountain eruptions. Huge fountain eruptions, sometimes going up to 1,000 feet in the air. Incredible. Incredible. It's a photographer's paradise. Kilauea volcano at Holly Mau Mau crater is a photographer's paradise. Incredible. Yes, there also have been some minor earthquakes around the Big Island. And even over on other islands in the Pacific here, other Hawaiian islands. They also had a fire. Hawaii had a fire. Let me bring up the Hawaiian map again. The USGS map here in Hawaii. Let's bring up here Hawaii here. I'm going to go over the Big Island first, then we'll talk about the fire over on Maui. Right here. Okay? This is Fern Forest, Hawaii, Big Island. Fern Forest here. Fern Forest here had earthquakes, and also they opened up fissures, and they also had volcanic craters. Volcanic craters because Kilauea volcano had magma down beneath the summit, down beneath the caldera of the volcano. Then all of a sudden, the magma dropped out. There was no more magma in Kilauea volcano. The magma went somewhere. Again, this happened 2019. 2019. Huge summer here. When the magma dropped out of Kilauea volcano and also out of Pu'uoa to the south here, both the craters had magma inside and the magma disappeared. When the magma disappeared, it went underground here. went back into the magma channels here beneath the land. It opened up fissures in the land. Great big huge fissures opened up and lava cascaded out of the fissures in the form of fountains. All throughout this area, all the way up here to Leilani Estates. You still see, this is an old map here, by the way. This is an old map from back in 2019, 2020 time period. Back in that time, the fissures had pretty much closed, but there was hot lava here. Hot lava that was still giving off lava plumes. Lava plumes. Sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide lava plumes. Okay? Notice the gray areas here. The gray areas where lava poured out of these fissures and these craters that flowed over to the sea. Flowed out to the sea. Lava from Kilauea and Pu'u volcanoes came under here, under the land here, and it flowed all the way to Leilani Estates out here. Fissures opened up. When the fissures started calming down, the fissures then became a crater. Craters and summits were left here. Now these same craters, some of them were named volcanoes now by the Hawaiian people. The Hawaiian people named the volcanoes, the craters, gave them names. They're still here today. They're still here today. Every time we have an earthquake here, it's because there's magma going out to these underground, still unseen magma chambers here. At some point in time, we still may see another volcanic eruption out here, in possibly the form of a fissure or a crater eruption out here, either in Leilani Estates or over here in Fern Forest, as we had today. A 1.4 tremor here, by the way. 1.4 tremor. Down here, northwest of Pahala here, we have a 2.2 earthquake. Pahala, we have a 2.2 earthquake. This area north of Pahala is what they call the gas station for magma underneath the ground. Way down south in the Pacific Ocean, way down south here in the Pacific Ocean, there is a magma plume down from the deep areas of the earth, down just above the mantle of the earth. The lava plume is sporting lava all around the world. That lava plume is putting lava all around the world now. Guaranteed. The lava is coming up here to Pahala. Some of that lava is coming up here to Pahala, and Pahala is like the gas station for the Big Island. It's here in Pahala that the lava comes over here to Pahala and then is distributed to the volcanoes, including Halemaumau Crater where Kilauea is. Also up here to Mauna Loa, and further north here to Mauna Kea. And even then, all the way out here to the east to Halemaumau, not Halemaumau, doggone it, out here to Hualalai. Hualalai volcano's right here. Yes, there is lava or magma beneath the ground out here at Hualalai, but the magma is not pounding Hualalai while it's still pounding Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea here, and also Kilauea. That's what's going on here. Now, Pahala. Let me show you the city of Pahala here. Right here is the city of Pahala. One of our EMA family members has their kids live here in Pahala. This past summer, they were here for their grandson's graduation from Pahala High School, which is right here. This is Pahala High School right there. Their grandson graduated from Pahala High School. But there are earthquakes that happen around here. Okay? Even earthquakes that happen over here. USGS is saying this is a 2.3 earthquake. They're saying it's north-northeast of Hawaiian Ocean View, Hawaii. Guess what? It's on the southern flank of Mauna Loa. This earthquake here is a 2.3 earthquake on the southern flank of Mauna Loa. This is a magmatic earthquake here. This is a magmatic earthquake 3 miles deep. 3 miles deep underneath Mauna Loa here. Okay? Now, let's go over here to Maui. This is the island of Maui. There is a multi-acre fire here. I believe it's probably several thousand acre fire here on Maui. I don't know where that fire is. I do not know where that fire is, but it's out here on Maui. I will try to get information more about this fire to you tomorrow. But there has been a fire here on Maui, and the Hawaii Fire Department is fighting it. Okay? Do we have any questions? Linda Covington is asking, where do people live on Hawaiian Island? They live all over. They literally live all over. Okay? Let's briefly show you. There are people over on that Hawaiian island called Maui. There are tens of thousands of people living here on Maui. Further to the north, Honolulu, the island of Oahu. We have probably close to 2 million people living on here on Oahu here. Between Honolulu, Waikiki, and other areas of Hawaii. Living all over here. Tons of people living here. And also over here on the southernmost island of the Big Island. They have a huge population here in Hilo. Hilo here. Hilo is the capital of Hawaii. Over here near Hilo, we have Katha Paina that lives here. She lives here, guys. And like I said, over here in Pahala is where my dear friends have their grandson and their family living down here in the city of Pahala. Our dear friends Laura. You see Laura come up here in the chat? That's where her family lives down here with her grandson. Does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about? I tried to give you an overview of what's been happening. I want to tell you what's been going on all day long. I told you politically what's going on, both over in Israel and here in the United States. Things are kind of bad still, but President Trump is gradually bringing it back under control. The FBI is investigating the people that supplied the protesters to the different protests around this country and the people that also provided money to provide for the weapons that the protesters use. Okay? The FBI is investigating. There are people in custody. Hundreds of people have been arrested in the past 2 weeks. They're not going to be letting go. There was even the union head in Los Angeles that was arrested, and he's been put under arrest, and he's still out on $5,000 bail. Or no, $50,000 bail. He's out on $50,000 bail. He may still end up going to jail. He may still end up going to jail here. Okay? Now, at the end of our programs, I typically try to share something positive with you. And that's what I want to do tonight. Now, I'm here in Corinthians. I'm here in Corinthians. I'm going to read one scripture verse to you. This verse doesn't just apply to the men. This applies to all you ladies and sisters out there as well. It says, brethren, meaning sisterin too. Sisterin, my own made-up word. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with God. Let every man wherein he is called, therein abide with God. Brothers and sisters, let's follow Jesus Christ. Let's follow the commandments. Let's do those things that our Heavenly Father wants us to do. That's all that scripture is saying. Let's start living the golden rule. Let's start treating each other righteously. Let's treat each other righteously. Let these protests die. Go home to your homes and stay there. Do not protest any longer. It's useless. You'll get yourself in trouble and end up going to jail. Don't do it. Let's be peaceful out there. Let's go back to our homes and treat each other special. Okay? Let's treat each other as Christ would have us do. Let's be representatives of the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay? Let's do that. Aubrey's asking, does Southern California earthquake expect to hit San Diego or just LA? I believe it's going to hit both San Diego and Los Angeles and the Imperial Valley. Why is that? Because the San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded. The San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded. It's going to pop. It's going to pop. I promise you. I don't think we have beyond the summer. I honestly don't believe we have beyond the summer. I think it will be sometime this summer. Linda Covington is asking, you might want to say a blessing before the broadcast too. Brothers and sisters, I can do that. Please, everybody, bow your heads and begin with prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this night with heavy hearts. We come before you this night united in prayer, praying for our loved ones, praying for our EMA family. Sleeping Volcano Sharon, God bless her husband. God bless her as well as she goes into surgery. May you also please bless her surgeons, that their hands may be guided to do those things that will be necessary to help Sharon return to health. We ask a special blessing upon people that have been hurt in these riots. People who have been separated from their families. People that have gotten their feelings hurt. Heavenly Father, watch over and bless them. Bless them that their hearts might be turned to Thee, that they might be able to be forgiven of what they've done. They might be able to come before Thee with a contrite heart and a broken spirit, and be able to do the things that Thou would have them do. Please watch over them, Heavenly Father. Watch over everyone around this world. Watch over everyone around this world. Wendy, Demon Catman in the east of England. Sleeping Volcano. Vagabond in Ireland. All of our friends and neighbors in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland. Romania and Ukraine. Watch over and bless them, Father. Please bless the people in New Zealand. Their hearts and minds also might be turned to Thee. And bless them that they will have able to be prepared for the earthquakes that are going to hit them. Earthquakes are going to hit everybody around the globe. Heavenly Father, please bless us all that we may have Thy Spirit to be with us this night and forever. We ask these things in the name of our Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. Amen. Brothers and sisters, thank you for that. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you tomorrow night, if not sooner. If something else happens tonight or in the morning, we'll be coming back on the air as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.